With some new weapons in his arsenal. Corey Rogers and Chad Lucas. There's Rogers, has not caught a pass yet. Chad Lucas has. Let's go down to John Liu right now.
Well, Rod, the two may be new to the Argos, but Rogers and Lucas are certainly no strangers to each other. They were teammates in Green Bay Packers training camp in 2006. Rogers, being the younger receiver, was being mentored by Lucas, but the one thing they had in common was that they didn't want to drop any balls that were thrown their way by Brett Favre. There was a $50 fine, so certainly there was incentive to hold on to those passes, but maybe they would have liked to have passed up or given up that $50 every once in a while, because they also share the bond of having their hands mangled by Favre passes. Lucas suffered a dislocated ring finger on his left hand, while Rogers caught a pass that was going so hard and spinning so fast that the laces ripped through his gloves, cut his fingertips like paper cuts, and broke his right pinky. Guys?
Jamal Robertson. Well, I've heard the stories, legendary stories from receivers who have had to catch balls from Brett Favre.
It just makes you wonder if Favre just liked to test some of the young guys a little bit and see if they could handle the heat before he demonstrated some touch.
And those go back to the stories, as I mentioned before, about a former Bomber quarterback, Dieter Brock, who a lot of guys, their own teammates feared just warming up.
And you think about catching those fast-moving balls in cold places like Green Bay and Winnipeg. It stings just a little bit more.
Second down, Joseph off of Barron Simpson and Kerry Joseph. And a penalty flag is thrown, and it's likely roughing the passer on the goal line as Joseph threw that football. Kerry Joseph looks like he's hurt and just not in sync right now with these new receivers.
Major foul, roughing the passer. Winnipeg number 90, 15-yard penalty, first down.
Dorian Smith got a little too close to number 4.
The Blue Bombers really let them off the hook here. You see Smith lined up on the left guard. Brian Ramsey gets a good push. If they just let him up instead of finishing the tackle here, it's the body slam that earned the penalty.
So a reprieve here for Joseph, and out of the shadows of his goalpost to the 25-yard line. Over the middle, and the catch made, and a big hit laid as well by Ian Logan, and there's the first catch for Corey Rogers, the former BC Lion, now as an Argo.
Corey Rogers, I'm sure happy to have his first catch as an Argo, but he probably won't want to catch too many of them with the free safety bearing down on him like this. Ian Logan's at the top of your screen playing center field. Makes a nice break on the ball, but a great job by Corey Rogers to hang on.
He's playing second base. So Rogers makes an impact. Joseph ducks one and it tries to get to the midfield stripe. Just a little more than the half of the first down yardage.
The Argos are probably going to need a little bit of this from Kerry Joseph today. There are going to be some breakdowns offensively, certainly, when you have new faces in the receiving corps. It's guys running wrong routes, maybe having some trouble getting open at times because the pattern's not exactly as it's drawn up. So maybe up to Kerry Joseph to improvise a little bit himself.
Second and 5. Joseph again can't find anybody. Finally, Jarrett Payton. Did he get the first down? The official said he stepped out just before the yardstick.
Yeah, if he didn't get that first down, it wasn't for lack of trying by Jarrett Payton. Payton in the backfield, checks release, just crosses the field. See him bounce off contact a couple of times. Just nice awareness of where that first down marker was. Try and fight his way up there, but as you said, did step out just short.
And they're going to go for it here. Michael Bishop looks like he's being worked on the sideline. Third down, and depending on the spot here, it looks like they did get the first down. To my imagination, it does seem like Kerry Joseph is having trouble finding receivers right now, taking a lot of time in the pocket.
Yeah, certainly at times, and there could be a couple of factors at play here. Again, you've got some new faces in there, which means that there may not be much variety in terms of the Toronto Argonauts playbook or play calling. And so the Bombers may be anticipating some things. And just beyond that, there's that familiarity at times where, as a quarterback, you have to have a lot of confidence that your receivers are going to be in the right place. Sometimes you're throwing the ball on blind faith. You can't have that when you don't know your guys.
Again, he's lost Arland Bruce as a primary target. Reggie McNeil, who he had some chemistry with. James Robinson not in the lineup as well. Andre Talbot. Those are some big components to an offense, basically starting from scratch.
It's training camp all over again here in week 5.
First down. Payton again, the son of Walter Payton. Little sweetness himself, and the helmet goes flying. Jarrett Payton, former Montreal Alouette. Jonathan Hefney lost his lid. And look at Corey Rogers trying to incite these fans to get them going here.
Well, you're seeing the Toronto Argonauts here use Robertson and Payton in the backfield together, and based on last week where Robertson was the bulk of the Toronto offense, now they're using him as a bit of a key breaker, using him as a decoy. And look at Jarrett Payton making a great case to get some more touches in this Toronto offense.
A couple of years ago in Montreal, Jarrett Payton was a big part of Montreal's offense. Passed aside Rogers. Dodges one. And another Toronto first down.
You just sense the Argos picking up some momentum, a couple of big plays, and give a lot of credit to Jarrett Payton. The effort that you've seen, second effort, fighting for yards on plays, I truly believe has energized his entire team here a little bit. Woken them all up, playing with a whole lot more enthusiasm on this drive. See Payton getting kudos on the sidelines from his teammates.
As a kid, obviously, around greatness. His dad, one of the greatest of all time. Walter Payton. Jamal Robertson. Now a little thunder and lightning in that big backfield for the Toronto Argonauts in Robertson and Payton.
And you think about how good Jamal Robertson has been in the early portion of this season. Now you're seeing Jamal Robertson as he's being spelled and having Jarrett Payton take a bit of the workload. You think about a fresh Jamal Robertson as the season goes on, that it may become easier for him to maintain this level of production.
Argonauts went into Winnipeg last week, won 19-5. Story for the Bombers there, ineffectiveness offensively. Robertson again, second down, and it's a first down now. Here's what JR did last week.
Well, Jamal Robertson, the load fell on him. The Argonauts were dealing with that inexperience in the receiving corps. They turned to their running back. Jamal Robertson was more than up to the task. Put up over 100 yards on the ground, contributed a few catches out of the backfield, found the end zone. Big day for him, big day for the Argos. He has been, I don't want to call him a revelation because we saw flashes last year, but that he has been able to produce consistently for the Argos this season has been a real bonus for this team.
Joseph going to the end zone, and Ike Charlton defensively blanketing Tyler Scott, unable to come up with it.
The Argos go for the home run ball here. See Kerry Joseph off play action, run fake to Jamal Robertson. Nice protection on the play. Puts it up and allows Tyler Scott to try to make a play. But Ike Charlton, textbook defense. Good position, and then gets the hand in there, well-timed to break up the play.
12th play of the drive, over 6.5 minutes used up on this clock. Inside 4.5 before halftime. Argos still pointless. Pump fake. Joseph to the end zone. Touchdown! Chad Lucas. Welcome to the Canadian Football League, fella.
What a way to start for Chad Lucas.
The ability and impact of a pump fake there. The Bombers bit completely.
Yeah, absolutely. The Argos have thrown some balls underneath. You're going to see Kerry Joseph takes his draw, pump, defensive back bites on that fake. Lucas then turns it upfield. Joseph goes over the top on Javon Johnson. 12-play, 102-yard drive, capped by Chad Lucas's first Canadian Football League touchdown.
And think about how critical that roughing the passer call was at the goal line. Got the Argos going, and then this was the finish. Toronto on the board, down by 3, 10-7. Argos on the board thanks to Chad Lucas, signed 5 days ago. Former NFLer, played a couple of games with Tampa Bay a couple of years ago, and was NFL Europa's league leader in touchdown passes back in 2006. Now an Argo, his first as a CFLer. James Johnson brings it to the 35-yard line. 3:56 to go before halftime. Michael Bishop back at work in a moment. The guys who used to share the quarterback spot here in Toronto. Rivals now, maybe rivals forever, putting on a show.
Well, they sure are. A terrific duel here between Michael Bishop and Kerry Joseph. Joseph firing the most recent salvo. Touchdown strike to Chad Lucas. The Argonauts on the board.
Bishop. Little flip over to Fred Reed. Again, the thing about Mike Kelly is since he took over the Winnipeg Blue Bombers, he has not been a guy who exactly marches along with everybody else. He beats to his own drum, including offensively. And I guess some criticism in some quarters for his lack of going to the shotgun offense, which is really the vanguard in the Canadian Football League now. Mike Kelly does not like the shotgun.
No, he believes in, I guess, some fundamentals, perhaps a bit of an old school guy, but likes to have his quarterback under center and work the offense from there.
Backpedaling, Bishop knocked down, big arm in front. And a big defensive play from the Argo front line. And a little chirping going on as well. Newcomer Kevin Huntley in on the play.
Well, a lot of times it's going to be a safe bet that Huntley, at 6'7" at that defensive tackle spot, is going to be the guy who gets his hand up to block some passes.
Boy, he is a load.
Oh, yeah.
Whoa.
6'7", over 300 pounds.
42.
Fortunate to have his big
It's
body.
a fake. Renault now kicks it. A squibbler, and it goes to Jonathan Hefney. Now, the CFL, if you're just watching this for the first time on some satellite somewhere or on tape, there are a lot of unique rules in the Canadian Football League. That is not one of them.
No, the team kicking the ball may not call a fair catch.
Mike Kelly has a laugh as well. It was a fake. Renault was going, trying to get that first down. But there is a 3-minute warning on the field. We'll sort it out when we come back. The Blue Bombers ahead by 3. The CFL on TSN. More in a moment. Toronto Argonauts take over after a rather unique play. We'll try to sort that out for you in just a moment. Joseph now looking once again for his rookie receiver, although he's been around a long time, just not in Canada, Chad Lucas. Let's go back to this fake that became rather funky, and there were a few giggles after as well. I don't know how you describe all of this. Go ahead, Dwayne.
Well, Mike Renault has the option to run or kick, decides to kick when the pressure comes. Jonathan Hefney, I think the ball was just coming right at him. What do I do?
Well,
catch it.
Yeah, that's their gadget plays, and then you know. Oh well. Play action again. Lucas again. First down again.
Well, it took a quarter to get going, but Chad Lucas and Kerry Joseph appear to have found some chemistry here in quarter number 2.
First down, Argonauts.